them come. This is their fate.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I'm your host, Deontay, with my friends, Jalen and Josh. We got a few topics today, as usual. Appreciate you guys tuning in. This is a bi-weekly podcast where we go over a bunch of gaming news and stuff that interests us in general. But before we get into the topics and I introduce those to y'all, just want to, as usual, say what's up to my fellas here. How y'all doing? How's life?
Life's good for me. It's been getting warmer. Hopefully COVID is clearing up so we can do some traveling. But we'll see.
Yeah. What about you, Jalen? What's up with you?
Just coming to the end of my first year of school. Definitely warming up. Chicago was juking yesterday downtown. I'm like, man, COVID-19 don't even exist no more. But I mean, shoot. Other than that, everything's smooth, man. And day by day.
Yep. Same old for me as well. I ain't been doing nothing, playing video games, doing my job day to day, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The usual. But we do got some topics for you guys today. We got some stuff we were actually interested in, and some stuff that I kind of wanted to talk about today. The first few things that, well, I guess I can introduce the topics. We're going to be talking about maybe that Marvel's Avengers update, because I know we wanted to talk about it last time. I never did. Zack Snyder's Justice League, that 4-hour long movie. The Xbox wireless headset, I know I've been using that for over the last few days. Apex Legends, the Switch version, basically the opinion on that game. And a few other things in case we can get to them. But yeah, those are the topics that we're going to be talking about. And let's just dive right into that. First one I want to talk about, if y'all watched it, because I don't even know. I thought I talked to y'all, but I don't think y'all responded. Did any of you watch? I'm pretty sure Jalen didn't. But did you, Josh? Did you watch the Zack Snyder Justice League at all?
That's that movie, ain't it? Wait, wasn't that in like different parts?
No, it was the same.
Or 4 hours long?
It was 4 hours long, but it wasn't like in different parts.
Okay, I seen something that said something about different parts, so I don't know. I don't rock with DC, so I know you're talking to Josh, but
Are you on mute, Josh?
My bad. I said I didn't see it or the original. Mainly just because it's not anything wrong with the Justice League movie for me. It's just overall with the state of DC's like TV shows and everything. Like I kind of just want to wait until it's like matured more. Because this might be a good movie, but they like got 3 Superman and they got like 3 different Joker, and they about to have more than one Batman, and I feel like it's not really cohesive, and I don't really like I don't know. I don't like that type of approach to it, so I would personally just rather wait until like stuff settles down. Like I might, go see the Batman movie whenever that comes out next year, because it looks interesting. But then it's not tied to any of these movies, so it's not as appealing to me.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I'll body this topic alone. I didn't expect none of y'all to be interested, but that makes sense. Well, I should maybe, yeah. I know Terrence watched it. I know me and my wife watched it. We had a kind of discussion around it, but the discussion kind of went like this. Basically, yes, it was better than the first cut. Joss Whedon did a terrible job. He seemed like he cut out all of the minority characters. And he just, I don't know what was going on in his head, but this is a more cohesive and full fleshed out story. Yes, he has more runtime Yes, he was able to put in a lot of extra things, but majority of the content was already there. That's what he wanted his vision to be. So really, it was kind of trying to minimize that to a 2 hour and 30 minute or so movie. It still would have been better than what Josh put out. It was just terrible. The stark difference in how stuff came together, the mother boxes, all that stuff made more sense watching in a 4 hour movie. I don't I don't see how the I don't know if they let people watch it or what. I don't know how that got greenlit. I don't understand how they even thought that was a good idea, because if you watch them side by side, there's a reason why the Rotten Tomatoes score is higher than the Joss Whedon. It's not the hype around it. It's just a overall better movie with better action scenes. Maybe not the score is the greatest, but that's Zack Snyder. What you gonna do? But overall, the movie delivered in everything that it needed to deliver in. So every aspect of the movie got improved versus being falling flat. Even some of the jokes were funnier. It was like Josh was supposed to come in and kind of put the Marvel spin on it, but Zach's was dark enough and still had his moments where it was just lighthearted enough to feel like a better movie than what Joss did overall. I don't want to kind of talk about specifics because I feel like y'all not gonna be able to chime in anyway, and I'm gonna be talking to the audience. But I feel like, again, the plot lines were better. The middle, beginning, and all of that was better. The way they introduced the characters, they were able to be flushed out more. They did such a better job with Cyborg than they did in the previous movie. They did a better job with even Flash, even though his was a little bit lesser than Cyborg's. But I feel like, again, the introduction to these characters that we never seen before was handled much better than when it was with Justice League. And that could solely be given to just the amount of cohesive transitions, chapters, and ability to follow along the plot better than what we could in Justice League. Felt like everything was just all over the place.
Well, I
overall,
can ask, how much of that do you think is really the original vision, in the sense that the original movie did come out 3 years ago, so they had time to review it and fix stuff up. And my problem with, like, the reason I didn't see it when it first came out wasn't like the reviews. It's just I didn't like Batman versus Superman, and like Zack Snyder, really, he has an issue with telling cohesive stories in that sense. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on, it's not really clear. Maybe that's just because he needs like 4 hours, or split his movies up into 2 movies, and then he can get everything in there. But do you feel like that was just them correcting the mistakes, or this is really just the stuff was there but it was cut out?
He said he only shot 5 minutes worth of new footage, and everything else was just CGI remakes, and all of it was already there. So that's what the story was behind the movie. So it added 2 hours and some minutes. So I believe this was exactly what Zack Snyder wanted all along. He wanted it to be longer because he wanted to introduce all these characters correctly. So all of this stuff was cut out because of the runtime. It wouldn't have worked in movie theaters. But this is everything that Zack Snyder wanted. Even the portion where it went dark, Superman was in there. And that was shot after, but at the same time, it was something he kind of wanted to happen in the movie in the beginning anyway. So, yeah, I think this is all his vision. This is what he wanted to kind of take place all those years ago. And it probably would have been better for the fans, but it wouldn't have been good for people going to see the movie, because maybe they wouldn't actually want to watch all of it. And then comparing that to Avengers, that 2-parter is still not going to compare to the Avengers 2-part, and how the climax and the cliffhanger. There's no cliffhanger in the middle.
First movie, they feel like completely separate.
yeah, there's no cliffhanger in this movie that feels like, oh, I got to see what happens next. It's just cohesively better. But in Avengers, everybody gets snapped away and it's like it cuts off. Like, shoot, what just happened? So that's not something that you're going to see in this. And I don't want to compare the two because they're obviously different worlds and they had different approaches. So there was a lot more build up for them versus a lot less build up for this. So what I can say is that cohesively, this movie was soundly delivered, and that this portion of it that Zack Snyder did is some of the best of DC that I've seen. But that's not saying much because, again, my favorite movie in DC's like realm right now is still, well, it was Wonder Woman, but now it's Birds of Prey, and yeah, it wasn't like it's much to top it. So I really can't give it that much more praise, but I can say that it delivered on what it needed to do, and what that needed to do was make this a win for them, so that he could possibly continue with his vision of what that world looks like, or just give them the ability to feel like they have a right footing in the right direction, because people wanted to see this so much and the hype was so real around it. This is now the universe that should continuously be built upon. But you already know Batman's being shot again elsewhere with another character, and it's just another person, and this is possibly not going to follow the realm of Zack Snyder, so his vision is going to be different. So his like multiverse or whatever he was trying to create isn't going to happen anyway, but this might be the catalyst to kind of push that into fruition. So we'll see, and I'd be interested to watch it all.
Especially like I know with like the Flash and stuff, they really want to tell those multiverse stories, and I think it's difficult because like even Marvel hasn't completely gone there yet, but I think DC, that's where they're gonna head, because maybe the Batman is really good, and so they're like, we want both of these actors to be Batman, but we're going to integrate them into the story somehow. And I feel like Zack Snyder would be the person that wants to lead that those stories like coming together. Right. But then again, if like the Batman movie is not good or other movies are not good, they can still pretty much ignore them and just lean back on, we want Zack Snyder to like lead these characters. Are you personally more interested in seeing those individual stories? Because I mean, Birds of Prey, it's still the same Harley Quinn, but it's pretty much its own separate from everything else story. Are you more interested in those solo stories or like the Justice League movies going forward?
More in the solo stories. I think they did a really good job with that, and I feel like the new Suicide Squad is probably going to be a hit, just because of all of the cameos and all of the things that they the humor surrounding Suicide Squad. I'm really hoping that this is a huge win for them. So I'm looking forward to seeing, I think it's like Suicide Squad 1984. I forget what it's called, but it's something like that where they have like that one's coming out. So if they are like using and pushing in like the old and the new, but they're trying to make it where some of that stuff is cohesive, but it doesn't have to be because they're telling a different story, I'm fine with that, because that's normally how comics books go, stories go anyway. It's not like they have to be a world that's built off of, it makes it better because you can have so much callback. You can start the whole, Easter egg hunt and like have people surrounding the movies and seeing what's going to happen next. And that's something that like builds the movie up even more. But you also can go a different route where you just have standalones where you don't actually have them kind of smesh. And because they don't really do a good job of doing that, and until they figure out how to do it in a more seamless way, I don't want them to waste their time doing that, making movies fail, and then we're stuck with characters that we didn't enjoy in any way. So it's hard to say yes or no to that, because we didn't know what was going on with Iron Man, Iron Man 2. We didn't know what was finna happen. All we knew is that they were dropping hints. I don't think they knew until like halfway through, and it was like, okay, we're going to do Captain America. We're going to tie in some stuff. Now we're going to do the Avengers. It's like they had a plan, but I'm pretty sure when the first Iron Man came out, they didn't think multiverse. They just thinking Iron Man standalone, but it was good. Tony was like, I signed up for a few more movies, and then they was like, we got to get you for some more movies, so they had to cash out for that so that he can tie it all together. So I don't see that happening yet. You know what I'm saying? I would think that with Christian Bale, but Christian was like, I'm done with Batman. So all the actors was like, I'm done, and they don't want to do it no more. And it's just kind of like, what they gonna do? So
yeah, it's been a while because like I know Henry Cavill says he still wants to be Superman, but Ben Affleck has been more, I guess, reluctant because like he was supposed to have his own standalone movies, and those probably not will happen. So, you know, it's been a while. They've been those characters for like 6-7 years, but not as much has happened with it.
Right. You would think they would have like more movies coming out. They did Wonder Woman 2 already, but they should have introduced Flash. They should have introduced Cyborg's movie. They should have introduced all these movies in order for them to kind of build up the world. But I feel like their runners, the people that they were putting up in the forefront, people weren't really meshing or clicking with them, so they didn't feel comfortable putting out a Flash movie. They didn't feel comfortable putting out a Cyborg movie. So I think their characters that they have for Justice League just ain't gonna, like, nobody cared about Thor. Nobody cared about Captain America as much as they wanted them to care about it before they made those movies. They took a leap of faith and kind of made the movies hits.
Yeah, those first two Thor movies were not good. Thor was only good in the Avengers
world. And like the multiverse, they weren't good movies. Like Ragnarok was the one that was good, and that was just a standalone, and they kind of got it right. So, you know, it's kind of, they're not taking no leaps of faith, and then when they do take them, they kind of fall flat. So I don't see them trusting themselves to make good movies anymore, or introduce these characters where people are interested in them. DC is just having a hard time at that. So we'll see. In my opinion, I think standalones might be the best bet, and just seeing these characters come to life, like the Joker movie was a good movie, but it doesn't mesh anywhere with the other movies. You know what I'm saying? So these characters that they have, these thoughts and these iconic characters that they want to portray on screen are great to do, but you just have to have the right production, the right style, and you have to introduce it in the right way. But you don't have to build a multiverse. Like that standalone Joker movie, in my opinion, was good. Some people didn't like it, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really cool way of introducing the maniac clown, so I thought it was cool. But some people may have wanted him to actually be introduced and meshed together like a Jared Leto, and I'm just thinking like, no. So it's all in perception, I guess, with those movies and stuff like that. I feel like they have great actors. I just think that the way that they introduce and the stories that they tell at the time just aren't the best. So it is what it is. Now, outside of that, like anything y'all want to add to that before we move on to the next topic?
What are the next DC movies? Because I know there's Batman. There's Shazam 2 and Suicide Squad.
I'm not sure. Now I gotta look it up with this. Like all this typing. Let me see. The clickety clack clack.
Man, you sound you finna tear up your keyboard, man.
The clickety clack clack. They got the Suicide Squad, which I'm looking forward to the video game that come out for that. To be honest.
Oh yeah, but then they say like 2020 22 or 23.
Yeah, something like that, dude. And then now they push back the other one. They push back the
Oh, they pushed back
Gotham
Gotham.
Knights. Yeah, they
I
push back
was
Gotham Knights.
I like the Batman game, so I was gonna maybe play that one, but I gotta wait.
Yeah, it's coming out 2022 now. Yeah, they got the Batman. They saying the Flash is supposed to release sometime in 2022. The Flash movie Aquaman 2 is supposed to be releasing sometime in 2022. Shazam, Fury of the Gods, which I like the Shazam as well. Black Adam, to be determined, really. Um, like they're building out a world. That's what it seemed like anyway. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't know how well it would succeed, but I think they have the budget, and they just got to figure out the right way to do it in order for it to kind of work properly. So we'll see. But they got some movies coming out. Not bad movies. Yeah. We
Yeah,
will see.
we'll see.
We will see. We will see, guys. All right. Next topic I kind of wanted to jump into then was, I think something we can all talk about is that Apex Legends Switch version, and overall kind of like opinion on the game in general. But first, I want to talk about the Switch version and why it is terrible.
I thought it.
Mm.
Basura.
Yeah, that junk is. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking, but I mean, I think that game goes hand in hand with 60 FPS to be competitive and to be efficient to play. I just don't see them letting them play with PC players. I know you said they can cut it off, right, Josh? They can cut off crossplay.
Yeah.
That would probably be the move to do, because I would not want to play with PC or Xbox or any other players, because they are going to have a serious advantage, whether spotting the characters, whether that's just being able to see characters, textures loading in properly, seeing around corners. The field of view is just atrocious. So there's a lot of sacrifices in this, and I'm happy that they got it up and running. It's going to introduce other people to the game, but I don't think it should have existed. To be honest, I think it shouldn't have been something to exist. I just think they should have waited until the next Switch, the Switch Pro, to put it on there. They might do a full upgrade to. I just think that's more money, because at this point, they haven't even put out their upgrade for the Xbox and the PS5, and that's probably one of their main platforms of people playing it. They still ain't put out the upgrade, and now they put out this version, and if they upgrade it to the 60 FPS 1080p and be nice and decent on there on the Switch Pro or something, like, that's more resources that y'all gotta pay for what? I just don't see the purpose of them putting it on there right now, to be honest. And I was confused on that. It could be something that I just don't see it meshing well. I don't see that meshing well.
I think
Just for money.
I suppose.
I think it was kind of too late, because when the game first came out like 2 years ago, I was expecting them to come out with a Switch version sometime around there, so that they have 3 or 4 separate platforms. They got their own community and people playing. And obviously, the Switch version is not going to be comparable to the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, but it can have its own community. But now we got the next gen versions of the game, and we got crossplay, and so it just feels like this is a last gen version of the game trying to keep up with the other systems. The port, maybe they did the best that they could. I feel like maybe they could did something else to make it a better version. Like, I know they aim it for 30, but I don't know what they could have done with the resolution, but it just where it is right now is just not comparable with the other systems. So, I mean, it's good that people can play the game, but obviously, like you said, with crossplay, it's not a comparable experience. So you can want to turn it off.
Yeah.
But then the other issue is it's not as many people playing with crossplay off, because if you turn off crossplay, you're only matched with people who has crossplay off, so you might take longer to find a match.
Yeah. Yeah, so and all in all, don't play the Switch version if you want to play Apex. Really, if you're interested in that game in any of the slightest, I would not start to buy cosmetics. I wouldn't start to level up. I wouldn't buy the battle pass. I just don't think it's worth it. If that's your only system, of course, play it on there. But if it ain't your only system and you can afford an old Xbox One or an old PS4, those are going to give you a better experience in general. And those games came out a long time ago. So, in my opinion, Apex Legends Switch version was a poorly. It wasn't poorly made, or wasn't a bad quality. I think they had to work into the constraints of the Switch. I just don't think they should have done it. I think this should have been a wait until the Pro come out, or wait until the device. Yeah, wait till the device becomes more compatible with what we need to run that game properly, and then they would have dropped it. I would have dropped it immediately when they dropped the Switch Pro. But yeah, now that it's out and now that it's available, it really does feel like a cash grab. And maybe this is the EA portion of the company that's just saying,
I feel like they
get it on the
should
Switch.
have did what Fortnite did, which come out with a mobile version first and then boost that onto the Switch. Whereas Apex, like, they don't have a mobile version, so this is just the current gen version. It's just like stripped down, and it doesn't feel like a good experience. Like, they would have to rebuild the game for a different system. Yeah,
it's pretty bad, but that's what it feels like to us. It feels like a cash grab. It feels like a way for people to get more players involved, but they're not going to have the same experience as most. And it's always nice to be accessible to all. It's a free game, so not like they're making you pay for it. But I just see it as a way of competing in a market that they don't have any business competing in, because that's a game that you play a little bit more competitively. Obviously, you can play Fortnite just as competitively, but it just doesn't feel right. It feels like drop frames. It's just not that type of game. Fortnite's pretty colorful. It has lax down graphics. You can see across the map. It's not that hard to tell what's going on. It also has the ability for you to allow you to carry over your cosmetics and your progress. So it's not as if it's a start over fresh type of deal. It's an addition to your equipment, so that you can, if you want to play on the go, you can, and you don't feel like you're out of place. But with the Switch, it's its own thing. It's its own territory, just like the PlayStation, just like the Xbox. And I feel like it would feel less like a cash grab if it was more so where you could bring over your stuff, like where you can tie everything all together. And if you just so happen to have your Switch and that's the only way to play, then that's fine. That would make more sense to me. It's like, we're putting this version out for the people on the go, but you're not putting this version out for the people on the go. You're putting this version out for the Switch, and the Switch don't need it. It's like
same thing they did with Overwatch.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem right. So, very disappointed in that. But I want to switch gears and just talk about the game in general, which we have been playing quite a lot more as of late. And I kind of wanted to explore that and see why we are playing it more. So, I guess I'll start with Josh. So, I guess question I'm going to pose to both of y'all, but we'll start with Josh, is what made you kind of want to play that game again, or what caused you to get more interested in Apex?
Because you definitely like it. Mm.
I guess it's two things. The game is not bad. I just felt in comparison there was a lot of things that I missed or I didn't like about Apex that I liked about Titanfall 2. And like I would still at this point prefer a Titanfall 3 or, their next project, maybe it's another battle royale, but it has more Titanfall elements or something like that. That's what I'm more interested in.
Right.
But this game so far has been decent, and from all the games we've been playing recently, I guess this is the most stable, like consistent. Like Destiny has its ups and downs every other week.
Right.
We don't really play Call of Duty. We don't play Fortnite, nothing like that. So this has been the consistent one. Like they got constant updates. The gameplay is pretty fun, even if stuff like gets nerfed and stuff like that. It hasn't been like too bad where I like just want to stop. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's getting better. I guess with the more character variety, it's a little more interesting because I feel like when it first came out and it was only like 6 characters, it was kind of I don't know.
You run into the same people most of the time. You didn't have to explore.
Yeah, you run into the
different.
same like group compositions, and I feel like now people do pick the characters for like their abilities, but now you see a little bit more variety of like character matchups and stuff. So.
Yeah, I would
Less
agree
Costinos.
with that. Yeah, less caustics, more flavor in there. Yeah, that I agree with that as well. So I guess going to you, Jalen, what was one of the reasons or a reason why you kind of started to play it more heavily?
Me, I just got like superficial reasons for things when I ain't like super invested. But I mean, clearly I have a game to like really play because Death Dog, that game, that whole stasis thing they got going on in that game, it just break the tempo. So they did a good job of adding 6v6 to up the tempo, and then they got all the stasis stuff, so they kind of brought down the tempo again. So I really enjoy that. But the like Apex, I feel like it's the easy game to get into. I don't really be caring too much about like progression type stuff. Y'all know I ain't spend no money. All I play is Lifeline. Come and get your Lifeline package. That's all it's gonna be. But yeah, I mean, it was just, and I felt like, I think that one thing that really helped me out though was like my friend Dom. She was playing it, and it was like the only game that she like really had or whatever. She wouldn't want to play like Call of Duty and stuff like that. And I mean, I was just kind of like, being a friend. I was like, I mean, I guess we can play it. I ain't really, tripping. And then I started getting kind of sweet at it. I was just looking like, man, hey, Cat's kind of going off in this mode. I was like, I'm gonna have to keep playing. Now we be in that mode. We be having cats in a blender on that mug. I ain't saying we like battle guys or nothing like that, but like, we might get a couple dubs, might get like 10 kills or something, like, nothing too heavy, but no, I mean, that I think the fact that I got better at the game and stuff, because used to be getting mad at me and Josh, we'd be half asleep playing the game, like, man, this dude Deontay, here you go running off again. He grabbing 3 guns, but only can hold 2, and you only can use 1 at a time. Like, what you got 3 guns for, man? What about me and Josh? We suck. Like,
for me, it used to be he got blue shields, I ain't got no shield, so I might as well just let him kill me.
Basically, boy, look, man, all right, you got me. You figured me out. You called me red-handed. No, it was just a lot of that. Like Josh said, the shield thingies in the game, because they didn't have the Evo shields in there, so I kind of feel like it gives you a fighting chance in some capacity. Like you work for your shields. We got better at the game. Deontay a little bit more reserved about picking up 3 guns, even though you ain't could really have 2 and use 1 at a time.
Man, he still be in the next area code, but
he do that. But we got on his tempo a little bit. When you want to push up and stuff like that, he might be a couple zip codes away, but we'll catch up. And then there's less caustics and stuff. We used to always go through that one thing on Kings Canyon. And Caustic's, I'm like, man, we not going through there. You know, Caustic got his stuff set up in there. We not going. And every time we open that door or some Caustic come scrape us, Caustic's was just omnipotent in that game. But we don't see as much of them now, and it's like you said, more flavorful. Because I think at first when the game came out, I think it was like 8 or 10 characters. I think maybe
It was 6.
yeah,
No,
6.
it was 8.
No, it was 6 because it was 8 because the other 2 characters you could buy, but like
Yeah,
if you didn't buy any characters, it was only 6.
Yeah.
yeah, it's Mirage and I think it's Mirage and Caustic. You had to buy one. It.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yes, I think Octane was the next one right after that. But if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, I think the game definitely has improved over time. Definitely has been getting better, more variety, a lot more stuff to do in it. There's like stuff that's being sunset in a way, or being removed for the game and then reintroduced in the game later. So the updates are fresh, I suppose. The more the chase of trying to get to the top board is fun and easy to do, and it's easy to understand. And yeah, we kind of play that game in 2 ways. Either we're going to try to play to win, or we're going to try to play to get into the fray immediately. So it's 2 ways we kind of play that game, and depending on how we feeling, that's how we gonna kind of play it. So I think what really geared me back towards that game to get better at it is the involvement of y'all trying to get better at it. I seen Josh playing it on alone. I seen you playing it alone, and I was like, that's interesting. I don't never play nothing alone. So then I started to kind of inch back towards it and start to play alone to try to get a little bit better at the game. So that way, when we do have time on our hands and we can actually just not only play the game, but you know how you used to be at a point where we was so good at certain things, we can talk about other stuff as we played it and didn't feel like it was competitive. It just felt like we were just having a good time because we weren't trash and we weren't getting beat like every 2 seconds. So feel like that feeling's coming back where we're actually winning fights, winning engagements, and we're moving forward towards becoming a little bit more cohesive with our movements, better with like our call outs and stuff like that. It's easier and it's more fun because we're not just losing at it. I hate losing, obviously, but I don't mind it when I'm just hanging out with y'all. But if y'all put in, that time or whatever, I feel like that's when, we all kind of have a better experience when playing those types of games, those more competitive games. So yeah, I've been enjoying it more. So I think that's really the reason why I started playing it again, is because I was always interested in that game and I had fun with that game. I just stopped playing it because I felt like it wasn't no fun for me. It was kind of the lack of interest in having of y'all's interest kind of made me feel like, well, I don't really need to play it no more either because there's no point.
It's getting scraped, man.
Yeah, it was just getting. I would win with randoms, but it was boring to win with randoms because all I'm gonna do is just hang up, and I'm not gonna go back in their lobby and be like, oh, that was tight. We did this, and that. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna win and leave, and that was pretty much it. So, having those engagements and stuff like that kind of made me more interested in Apex again. Now, Destiny ain't gonna never, obviously we all know this by now. No matter if y'all play it or not, I'm always gonna play Destiny because that's just a game I'm super interested in off rip. But these other types of games, just like when it comes to Overwatch, yeah, I think we could always get better and better at Overwatch. I just never was super interested in that type of gameplay, and regardless of, I always end up being like one character. I feel like there's a little bit more things to do in Apex where you don't need to be stuck in a role. But Overwatch is a little bit more, if you want to succeed and you want to succeed well, just get good at one character or get good at a character or a role and continue to play that. This doesn't put me in that box. I can play with Mirage, I can play with Octane, I can play with Bloodhound, Bloodhound is my favorite because he kind of go off with the visionary stuff and being able to see the map and call outs. But I play with some other characters as well in my free time because I just enjoy playing with random and different characters from time to time. But yeah, Pathfinder was my initial one, so I think it's just a little bit more variety here in this game. That's why I always really enjoyed it. And there is a lot of finessing. There's a lot of taking advantage of the area, your surroundings, being alert, loadouts, grabbing certain gear. So it's so much more to it than just dropping and getting popped. But that's pretty much what all our experience was as we played, because we would just literally drop and get popped, and that's not interesting. So, I think when I seen y'all guys getting more interested in it, that's kind of what made me want to get more interested and actually get even better at the game.
And we drop and get popped, man. I just feel vengeance, man. We finna go take it out next week. We finna run that back, bro. I'm trying to play that right now. Shoot, yeah. That's what we doing, right? We finna play it after this. No,
For me, I hated playing Apex because we would either drop and get popped, or we'll run around for 15 minutes and then get scraped in our first fight.
Yeah,
now
I think
at least it feel like we jump right in the fray. Maybe we get popped, maybe we win, and I feel like after that first win, then we just start steamrolling people.
Yeah, I think so. That's how it goes. It's a steamroll effect, and that momentum kind of drives us to continue to play, because I sit there and I'd be like, damn, we've been playing this thing for 3 hours, but it's the momentum of that next kill or next adrenaline rush. So I think that's really what kind of elevated us to kind of continue to play. But overall, I think if any of them, Apex is the most improved, but it's always been the best to me as well. That's weird. So Warzone came out. I thought it was fun, but I don't care for the amount of I wouldn't just say it was the cheaters, but it's the amount of sniping in that game where people just sit on buildings. The lack of variety in the map, and it came out later, so I can't give it the benefit of the doubt for that. But there's not much variety in the map. There's not much changing. There's not much going on. But there is. I mean, if you pay attention, yeah, there's a lot, but that's a little stuff been changed and a little stuff has been tweaked. But overall, that experience when we drop in again, it always has felt the same. I think Apex has slowly but surely has adjusted the way we kind of play the game. We used to go in and constantly, it was always something, everything was viable. Even if it was a peacekeeper, we would go in and kind of go from there and see what we could bring out of an engagement with those types of things. So I say the most improved thing to me is the maps. The maps designs, I feel like have gotten better, not worse. Kings Canyon is always going to be my favorite because it hit a lot of boxes with doors, the door games, the feel of it being close and understanding where the next fight will more than likely be, because there's always been these hot zones. The new areas for the World's Edge, and then the new one, I don't know, that came with Horizon, I don't know the name of it. But all those maps, I miss World Edge because it allowed me to kind of play the open field a little bit more. I remember I used to play with G Scouts, and it changed the way I played, basically. Now, with this maps, Kings Canyon has always been a close quarters map for me, so I'm always running SMG and the Spitfire. But if I was to play on World's Edge, I'll more than likely switch to a G Scout and maybe another SMG, because I'd rather still have the ability to shoot from far away. I know, it basically gives us all the ability to kind of play in a different way, but the difference now is that I think we all kind of see what the what works and what doesn't. So I think the game has slowly but surely improved over time, and as we kind of get better at it and understand the game a little bit more, we start to see like what the I guess what we can consider a flaw would be like some of the map designs, how we get stuck in 3-man or a third teamed, or how there's like the weird inability to switch off or like change directions or not know where people are coming from. But sometimes we feel like we're just in a bad spot where we can't fortify it because we just stuck out in the open. So we start to see those things kind of show their heads, and I think that just comes with our experience and ability to see that, yeah, there may be some flaws in the way these kind of maps are laid out and stuff like that. But overall, those are the most interesting maps I've probably played in a while that comes to PvP. That's in Destiny, that's in Call of Duty, Cold War, that's in Fortnite, that's in pretty much anything else I've played. I don't find those maps to be as enjoyable as I do when I play in Apex, because I just understand what landmarks are and I understand how they design their maps, because this all has the same similar flow, zip lines and stuff like that. So
for the most part, because they have those other games don't have mountains like literally blocking your progress. So there are paths that people take, and that's where people meet up on those pathways. So they just have good map design. And I guess the thing is, I don't think there are any bad spots to land. Whereas like in Warzone and stuff, there are some areas that if you land there, like we was over by that dam in that one time.
Man,
and like,
don't get me started.
It's just
on that
because
dam.
of how it's built. You got to go all the way around the dam, or you got to run up like 8 flights of stairs.
Yeah, and then there's like the buildings on the inside, so it's like when you get outside, there's no way to hurry up and get up top. There's like you have to go through the building, you have to go through the structuring. There's like parachuting to get down, but like in that game you take no fall damage. And so it's exciting to be able to take advantage of all of the map. You know what I'm saying? Like take advantage of everything of the map, because you can literally land on top of a little area where it says not in battle and sit there for 30 seconds and then jump down, because they want you to take advantage of everything, whether or not you're redeploying, whether you like they have so much stuff that's in that game that allows you to really take the freedom of the map into consideration and do whatever you want really in it. And I haven't played a game like that was that well designed, or continued to add stuff to it and didn't break the other parts of it. You know, they didn't break it when they added in mobile respawn beacons. They didn't break the game when they added in, the replicators. They didn't break the game when they added in the ability to charge your supers all the way. It's just stuff that they keep adding, and stuff that's there that's like, yeah, this is fun to play. This is not boring. This is something that you can really impact the game in this way. And they make smart decisions. The Evo Shields was a smart decision to allow people to take a white and level it up so that you don't have to fight to get to a purple or always feel like you're at a disadvantage. And it makes people engage in fights more often. So a lot of these smart decisions, fix the golds. Yeah, we hate the leveling of the golds because they can't get up higher. So once you get those golds, you're pretty much stuck there. But you do have the ability to, heal faster, 50% heal, 50% additional for your heal. So, I mean, it's a give and take type of deal. But I would, like I said, I would prefer them to be just as good as the Evos. But I understand if you got the Evos, then you got more power to you because you earned it, versus the gold shields just being a gold drop, So it depends. I would want them to tweak that a little bit, but I understand what the design method was behind the golds not getting up to the Evo shields reds level.
I mean, ain't the golds? So what about when you pick up gold guns? The gold guns are able to, you can replenish that ammo, but the red guns you can't replenish the ammo. What's the difference between the two? Is the red guns better?
Are you referring to like the
like a prowler,
the
or
prowlers
just any
and
type
stuff
of
like
gun?
that?
Yeah.
Well, those don't they have like specific attachments, or I thought they had specific attachments, or they had like certain things on them that they weren't able to be found in the map or on the ground. So you can always find all the gold items that you can get on a weapon on the ground. But you just can't do that for the reds, because I thought there were certain things on there that you couldn't get. Obviously, the Prowler is something that you can't get regardless, so I'm assuming that because of that, they don't want you to replenish it. But I thought there was also something that's made it stronger or hit harder, and that's why you can't replenish it. I don't know, though. I thought that's what I thought.
Well, maybe red guns is the only ones that's not on the map. They only come from a care package.
Yeah, those are Prowler is the only one that comes in. That's not in like it only comes in the care packages. So, yeah, I mean, again, more interesting mechanics, care packages. You know, allowing people to actually drop in loot and buy stuff. Like none of this stuff was in these other games. None of this stuff has been implemented in this type of way where it feels fun to just play and it's not broken. You could. I could see Lifeline being abused in other games, but this game is like they balance a lot of things properly, and it feels just engaging and fun to do. So a lot of sweet things there, a lot of interesting mechanics, a lot of interesting things, and I don't see me, you know, I can see myself not playing it if we were to go back to previous ways. I was just like, I don't want to waste my time here. But I feel as if now I think we're just kind of going to get we're going to get better and better with the time, and at some point it'll be easier to just play. It's one of those games we just have fun in versus it being a nuisance. Yeah, but
they need to just take that repeater out of there, man.
Mhm.
Well,
Go with repeaters.
I told you there's things that once we actually started to play it, and it was like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's in here that's just not great. But in general, I think that game is top tier when it comes to the battle royale scene. In my opinion, I think it's not much that's beating it, or if any. I think they only win in the amount of money they got. But they ain't winning in the amount of like interesting mechanics or anything like that. Respawn just seem like they just make up a new idea easy, where everybody else seem like they take a long time. It's like Respawn just got a new idea that easy. There's plenty of things that they added over the last 2 years that a lot of people have stolen and put in other games at this point, and it's very interesting to see. But yeah. Kudos to Respawn. It's probably, again, my favorite developer, period. But I'm ready to see what they do next. Hopefully they make some more great games. Titanfall 3 better be lit. They better have I ain't gonna put that pressure on them. It just better be fun. That's all I say. It better be fun again. And EA better do them right and not drop it when Battlefield come out or something like that. Something stupid. I think Respawn got their name is too big now. They probably overshadow Battlefield at this point, in my opinion. But never mind. I'll take that back. It won't overshadow Battlefield, but I think it'll be in a better position than it was previously. Any last words on Apex?
No, I'm just waiting for to buy another character.
You probably can buy all of them now.
Right, he got all of the red things. He don't, dude. You literally have the credit they give you in game to buy the characters. You don't have to hold on to it. There's literally nothing else you can do with that money, and you don't spend it. So that's my annoyance with you. You literally have a currency meant for characters, and you literally don't spend it because you feel as if there's more characters you may want to see down the line, even though you haven't bought one character. That makes zero sense to me, Jalen.
I got Lifeline, man. Come in. I used to already playing with Mary J. Blige, Bangor, but now I just play with Lifeline, man. Lifeline, she got the coldest fit on there now.
And she got Mirage. You know Mirage good.
Man, he talked way too much. I ain't finna play with him. Hey, boy, you've been bamboozled. Well, maybe not. Well, how do we? Well, never mind, guys. Like, I just like, bro, shut up. Like,
Him
that
or
dude just be talking.
Octane is good now too.
Man, I'm not finna play with that dude, man. I hate him.
So you just,
No, no, not Octane.
you
My bad,
just
Caustic.
choose to play with one character. So just say that then,
Man, she the coolest character in that game, man.
because they give you the option to. They definitely gave you the option to buy other characters. You just don't want to. So you just
I
say,
mean,
I would
I'll
just
be
say,
honest. Like, I don't like most of the characters, so I only got like
mm-hmm.
2 that I'll play with. But if I had all the money like Jalen, I'd just go ahead and buy them and try.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I had. I don't think I ever bought a character. I bought. Only have been able to. For every character, I have been able to use the red currency.
Yeah.
To buy them. The only time obviously I buy cosmetics and stuff, but I haven't had to use any of that yellow currency to buy a character. I have always been able to buy them with the amount of time I've put into the game, which is cool because I don't need to buy the character. But yeah, Jalen, just go ahead and cop, man. If you want to play, but he don't really want to play with nobody else, so I guess it really don't matter. As long as you like
Lifeline got them. She got that deployable shield, man. When your teammates go down, you be playing them shield games with them, man.
Yeah. Overall, this segment was just meant to give Respawn their flowers, talk about Apex, because that's one of the games that we are currently enjoying to play a lot. But next, I think the one thing I wanted to talk about was the Xbox wireless headset, and I got it in my hands right now, so that's why I sound weird. But yeah, I bought this. This is the new Xbox. It's $100, 100 USD, and yeah, I think I'm the only one that currently owns it. I know Josh was looking at it, but I don't think he has purchased as of yet. And I have put out a video on my YouTube channel, BCD Universe, about it. And I may also do another updated review if the request or demand is there. But I can give you guys a synopsis of what I think. First off, I really, really enjoy the click of the rotating volume and chat mixer. So the actual outside of the Xbox headset rotates in looks like it's
It's like a big knob.
180 degrees, I think. Yeah, 180. Not 360, but 180 degrees. So it rotates 180, and it has a clickable, if you hear that, it actually has a stopper inside, so you can tell when it's full and when it's high volume or all the way up to the max, and then you can tell when it is all the way low. Also, the same thing for the chat mixer. You can tell when there's a balance because there's a identifiable click, and then you can, if you go past that, then you obviously push it more towards the game, or you push it more towards the chat audio. So really cool there that you can feel that feedback in the headset, so you not have to spin endlessly to try to make it go up. The leather cups are really, really soft. It took a little bit for them to break in. They do squeeze your head a little bit, but I feel like the seal is worth it, because you really, really get the effects of a lot of different things. So, they're not the loudest. I feel like they're loud, but they're not the loudest. I think you can contribute that more to the seal of the ear cups. I think because they're leather, there's not much to seal. There's not much seeping. There's not a lot of airflow coming in, so it does sound a lot louder, but it doesn't get to a point where it's like distorted or it feels like it's going to break your eardrum. It feels really good. Sounds really clean, and that's good. I think sound quality wise, these are a great headset. My downsides to this headset really comes down to the battery life, which I'm just spoiled with the Steel series. They have a pretty decent battery life. These get pretty close. It's like 14-15 hours, and it's fine. But I usually am around like 20 hours. I usually don't charge my Steel series for 2 days. It seems like these would have to be on a charger each night and make sure that I'm ready for the next day, because I leave my headset on and I listen to music while I'm working, work from home. And I'm doing other things as well, so these are always constantly on my head for the last few days. And sound is a lot better. Like I said, music sounds better to me than on my Steel series, to be honest. It's just my head gets and my ears get extremely hot and sweaty because of the leather. Not so great to actually keep on my head for long periods of time. It's not uncomfortable. It just squeezes my head a little bit more. And it is a lot more, it just gets a lot more sweaty in here, G. And I just don't like that. So the Steel series gives you removable cuffs. And I don't want to keep comparing it to, because this is $100 headset and that Steel Series 7X is $150. But if you have the extra $50, I think you should go with the Steel Series. If you don't have it, this is a great headset. You're going to get Bluetooth ability. You're going to be able to hook this up to your phone as well as your Xbox, as well as your PC. You're not going to have to worry about missing a call, because you're going to be able to take those right into the headset. The Steel Series 7X just doesn't have that. So if you're looking for that type of functionality, that's going to be here on the Xbox headset. And it's, like I said, the headset itself is fine. It's definitely better than a Pulse headset from that Sony. It does spatial sound really well, just like the Steel Series 7X. The sound profile is really good, just like the Steel Series 7X. The comfort, it's okay. It's very decent. I just find that the band technology, or the ski band with the proportion of my head, with the natural oils that I use, with the ear cups having a little bit more breathability, I think the 7X definitely edges it out in that regards. But comfort wise, you're not going to get it tired of it being on your head. You may get a little bit sweatier around the ears, but outside of that, that's normal for leather headsets. So if you have the temperature in your room up a decent amount, if it's not like baking in your room or whatever, you'll be fine to have them on all day. But my opinion still stands that this is not something I would purchase as my daily driver. This is something I would use. Again, if you only had $100, this is the one I'd take. But if you have more than that, and you want a decent headset that's going to work with everything, because the Steel Series 7X works with your PS5, your Xbox Series X, your Nintendo Switch, your Android device. It works with your Google Stadia controller. If you have Google Stadia, literally I have all of these things and it works with everything. So if I take the dongle out and I plug it into my phone, I now have a headset that's technically wireless, but it's not Bluetooth. So I'm going to have a dongle hanging out, but at least it can get it done. Google Stadia, I plug it right in the back of the controller. Now I have a headset that's going to allow me to be able to play through that audio there. So it's like I said, it's a very versatile headset. This one, the Xbox works with PC, Xbox, and Bluetooth. So anything with Bluetooth connectivity. Not a PlayStation. It's a very proprietary type of steel, so it doesn't work with everything, but most Bluetooth devices you'll be able to hook them up to. So yeah, I think you won't go wrong with buying this headset. I just don't think it's the best headset that you could buy, but it does do what the $100 tag needs it to do. Great headset, great comfortability, great sound, great mic, easy to use, easy to set up. Functionality is there. Take those calls. I think it's cool. I just won't use it as my daily driver, but I own it. So I have one, and I'll use it when I'm playing on my Xbox because I think it's just that good. But I wouldn't use it for my PC, stuff like that. So it won't be my daily, but it definitely hits the mark for a lot of different things there. But yeah, I mean, I'm the only one that kind of owns one. Did you have anything you wanted to add there, Josh or Jalen?
Then what headset you got, Jalen? You upgrading?
Man, you know I still got this this HyperX Cloud, whatever that thing is that I don't use because it just make my ears sweaty and smash my hair down.
You gotta get you some Steel Series, man. You gotta get them what's the name, ear cups.
Man, the ear cups just make my ears sweaty and stuff like that, and it just had like oils and all that type of stuff on it. I just prefer to just use like earbuds. That's why I like how we just use like Discord or Line or something when we playing a game or whatever. It's way simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No, I agree. I think I had the HyperX before, but mine messed up because they were the wired version, and you can't switch out the wire. So I've just been using my Sony headphones. Like they work, but they're like actual headphones, so they're way more expensive than $100 Xbox headphones. But I don't know. I've been looking at those two that you recommended, but I guess since we don't use party chat as much, it's not as much of a reason for me to get it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when I play, I have my headphones on and I have an AirPod in the other ear. So
I had to find a solution for you, Joe, because I was like, I refuse. So I had to figure out how to run it through my PC just so I can keep a headset on. Because I was like, dude, I cannot hear anything with one earbud in my ear. I'm like, I can't hear what's going on to the right of me. So every time something happened, I'd be like, I could have heard that if I had it.
Switch it to mono, right? So all the sound comes out the same on both ears?
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. So you can switch it to like a certain sound system.
No,
and
like stereo does the left and right, but mono does equal on everything, right?
Oh, well then how would you ever know when something's left or you're right of you? You just gotta be able to hear it. Like, does it get like?
If you're only using the left side, you're not gonna hear it on the right, anyways. Mono is just it puts out all audio, so you can at least still hear the footsteps.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess I'm just more so spoiled with the spatial stuff that I be kind of using, and I just like it better. So I just had to figure out some type of solution. So I mean, Discord runs through it, and my PC is my audio from my Xbox and my systems run through it. So it's no problem for me now. But yeah, you guys obviously wouldn't be trying to do that, but that's kind of my solution. I kind of lined into my and allowed for me to be on Discord and still hear what's going on in the game through the Elgato and stuff. So
man, you just like ear hustling, man. I don't care about doing that.
You too good, man. You don't need to do that. I understand. I'm the try hard that got to get better. So understood. But
just make sure you can wear your sweatband with them headphones.
I'm a sweat. Got it. Yeah. But yeah, I had to figure something out. I just couldn't do it. And I think that's pretty much what we wanted to kind of talk about. I know Marvel's Avengers update was another thing, but really for the Marvel's Avengers update, yes, it runs at 4K 60. Yes, it looks good, but the game is still trash. I think Hawkeye's is probably one of the more interesting parts. I haven't beaten it yet, but it seems at least it's starting off interesting. Like it has a storyline to it. So I will play that through. And I don't know if it's Hawkeye or if it's that girl, but I think it's the Hawkeye one. Missions and stuff like that. I will play those. I probably may put a video up about that on my channel if it's worthy enough. But if it's not, then you probably ain't gonna hear no more from me. But at least they're starting to do something. It's been a while. I paid a lot of money for it, and it's digital, so I can't sell it. So now I'm stuck with it, and I'm waiting for some updates to come out. I'm waiting for Spider-Man to come out. That's something that we was guaranteed. Yeah, I'm just interested to see if they can bring this back around because it was fun. It just wasn't good enough. It was boring after a while. And they just didn't have much to do. They really need to bring in some customization to the characters. They shouldn't be switching out spines and necks and eyeballs. That I don't know what they were thinking with that stuff with the Hulk. I don't know what they were thinking. So
Bro,
I just
what?
think, bro,
Spines and necks.
you can exchange
they
out
don't
your
got
spinal
gear.
cord.
They got you can switch out your spinal cord and get it for a legendary one.
and your foot for a legendary foot for Hulk. And then
Bro, are you serious?
I'm serious, G.
Bro, that game sound spinal.
They said I need a new spine. He's like, yeah, I need that gold spine right there. I need to. I've been like, what you been looking for? Yeah, I'm looking for a gold spine right now. I'm trying to get that gold.
Man,
I
that
have
game
no
sounds
idea
spinal.
why they thought that was a good idea. I would have rather them put on clothes or just
Or I
focus more
mean,
on just
what
the
the old Marvel
combat.
games used to do is it's like gems. It's not like Infinity Stones. It's just like you literally gems that up your stats. I don't know why they wanted to change it to armor pieces
Yeah,
when they don't all got armor.
it was stupid, bro. It was stupid. I was like, if it wasn't going to be like cosmetic, there was no point in even trying it in the first place because it's not like Destiny or nothing. So yeah, I just didn't understand it. And yeah, people gave them a hard time for their spinal cords. So I just hope that Marvel, I hope they get it right because I really did enjoy like the Ultimate Alliance games. I thought they were really fun. I thought they was just like beat 'em up, smash 'ems. I thought that top down view of just running around playing with all types of unique characters was fun. And for them to kind of take that, I thought they were going to evolutionize that, where they made it where it was a beat 'em up, but it was still cohesive and fun to play, and it had a lot of stuff you can do. But it just is not that. So until we get that figured out, hopefully, people will still continue to play it. People will still purchase it and buy it so that they can stay afloat for now until they make the game better. And I have no doubt that game is going to get better, but it just how long and will people want to go back and play it is really the question at this point. I don't want it to be another Anthem, which I doubt it's going to be because it's Marvel. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. Any last remarks? Any lasting, tidbits y'all want to lead the good folks with?
I guess real quick, what y'all gonna be playing for these next couple slow months?
Demon
Outriders
Souls.
is it's about what 2-3 weeks away.
Yeah, it's on the first, so 2 weeks away. Yeah, or no, actually, it's next week, the week after next Thursday. And that's coming. Yeah, so
And
yeah,
what about you, Jalen? You about to pick up a Persona game or a Kingdom Hearts game somewhere?
I'm finna buy Kingdom Hearts, the full collection now.
oh
Wait, when you gonna
that's
get that
fine.
Kyrie game?
Man, I ain't buying no game. I've been trying to think about what game would I buy like soon. I still got to beat Ghost of Tsushima.
You
I've been
don't
wanting to play
need to
Sekiro
buy.
again, man.
You don't need to buy a game soon. You need to buy a console soon. And that way you can pay $1 for Game Pass, and then you got Outriders with us. So that's what
Nah,
you need to hop on. And then, especially since you don't play with cosmetics, you can switch to playing crossplay on. You can play Apex on there with actual 60 FPS, 1440p. You get a higher field of view, faster load times. That's pizzazz for
I don't care about
Apex.
cosmetics. That's why I play a Lifeline because she got the best fit.
Yeah, whatever. You don't care about none of that stuff you unlock.
That's why I started playing Lifeline. I got that gold spaceship thing on her, and I'm like, or the spacesuit. I'm like, yeah, that's the one.
That is not why you started playing with her.
I swear it is. I'm like, this the one, not the two. I'm like, yeah, I'm playing Lifeline.
This guy's a liar.
Her fit tight. Bro, good what I care about fashion, man. Destiny. Fashions, Dark Souls.
Oh my god. So you don't pay for nothing, but you care about fashion.
I'm not finna go pay for them to change I'm not finna pay money for something that literally does nothing in the game but please the eyes. I'm not finna do that.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Sure.
That is the case.
You just
I'm not gonna
said
put something
I'm
on
not
just
gonna
because
change, even though you'll have a better overall gameplay experience. But you said you're not gonna change because of cosmetics. But you said you also not gonna care about cosmetics. So you're contradicting yourself.
I care about cosmetics to some degree, but if it's like I gotta do a lot if it ain't I got the Lifeline skin, it just came out of a little drop thing. I'm like, hey, this fit kinda hard. I'm finna start playing with her. And that's when I started playing with her. It was better than playing with Mary J. Blige.
Bangalore.
Same difference, man.
Stop disrespecting, G.
I ain't disrespecting Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
I ain't disrespecting either one of them. I just don't like the character. I'm not finna play with them. But I care. It is known that I care about the way my characters look. That's the same thing with Destiny. You like put that blue pieces on so you get your high. I'm like, man, my dude gonna look garbage, man. I need him to look tight. That's all I care about. He need to look tight.
Yeah. Okay. I guess the track record, it kind of everything makes out, I suppose. But
Do I care about performance and all that type of stuff? No.
Yes.
As long as my game plays all right and it's not glitching and stuff like that, we good. I don't care about 60 frames. I can't even tell the difference half the time. Just give me a consistent frame rate and no glitches, no rendering and stuff like that. We good. Apex ain't doing that for me, so I'm good on the
Whatever.
PS4.
You went back to playing Destiny 2, and you was like, "Dang, this 30 frames is not fast enough." After you was playing
I ain't said it ain't
Overwatch
fast enough.
and
It was
Apex,
different. I thought my game was lagging or something because my eyes ain't as good as yours. So like when I see 30, I'm like, man, something look off about this game. And like, why is it moving scratchy? But you was like, it's probably because I didn't even know Overwatch was on 60 frames.
yeah, it's on 60.
See,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think they just updated it too. 120.
Yeah, for PS5 and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I pause it, sometimes the frame rate speed up. So I was thinking like maybe that's 60 frames or something. But I guess it's always on 60.
No, it's always on 60 for Overwatch, but Destiny 2 on PS4 is 30. So and you play Apex, that's 60. So a lot of games are 60, and then you jump back to that 30 frame. It's like it's gonna look scratchy, basically.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know that. I just I'm simplistic, man. You know I'm superficial.
Yeah. He always trying to he be ducking this console, but you gonna get it one day. One of these days.
Man, put me on some moves in the stock market, man, and I put a fund on
Ain't nobody think about it. You just got stabilized with your stemmy.
Nah, man, I read in the Soldier 76 biotic field at the last minute.
That's what they all say. But that's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for always tuning in. I appreciate it if you got this far. I want to thank you even more than if you got to the halfway mark. I want you to also check out the channel if you're interested in any of like tech videos, any gaming videos, anything like that. I do all that stuff on the BCD Universe channel. And as always, I will talk to you guys every bi-weekly about some gaming news for the House of Wolves podcast.
Man, I hope y'all got stabilized with y'all stimmy checks.
And them stimmies definitely hit. They were at Burger King talking about, let me see the king, right? I want to talk to the king. That joke is so funny. The memes are hilarious.
Man, let me buy your podcast from you $1,400, Deontay. You got 14 right now.
They was at I see the one. They was at the Selena Museum, and it was like, they was looking at it, and they was shopping. It was like, yeah, we want to try this on. And it was like her outfit that's like hanging in the museum. He said, yeah, we'd like to try this one on. I was like, yo, crying. They just ignorant. But all right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.